How to prevent injuries while climbing Kilimanjaro. Don't let an injury ruin your Kilimanjaro dreams. Any person who has a reasonable degree of fitness can successfully climb Mount Kilimanjaro. However, there are some common injuries that people suffer which can be easily avoided with a little bit of attention and extra preparation. When hiking, the legs bear the brunt of the work. Glutes, quads, hamstrings, and calves all come into play when tackling a trail. Therefore, it's no surprise that the most common injuries trekkers may experience involve the lower body. While none of these conditions are life-threatening, they can mean the end of your trip if it's something you can't tolerate. If your movement is compromised, or if you're unable to walk without pain, continuing on the climb will likely make it worse. So, we want to take the right steps to avoid injuries in the first place. In this video, I'll discuss 8 ways to prevent injuries on Kilimanjaro. Number 1. Hike in the right footwear. Most of the general public wears shoes that do not fit correctly. There should be at least a ½ inch of space between the front of the toes and the inside of the shoe, and even more for a hiker. This space is necessary to prevent your toes from touching the front of the shoe, which causes bruising and blistering. If you have never had your feet fitted professionally, chances are you are wearing a shoe size that is too small. For most of my life, I bought shoes in size 9 or 9.5. But when I got my feet measured while training for a 7-day adventure race, I found out that my accurate shoe size is 11. I was wearing shoes that were 1.5 to 2 sizes too small. That's the difference between my big toe touching the front of the shoe and having a full inch of space. It might feel weird at first to have so much room, but trust me, this will save your feet from taking unnecessary damage. In addition to the shoe size, pay attention to the tread. Kilimanjaro's varying terrain requires a substantial depth of tread to maintain good traction throughout the climb. Casual shoes or running shoes likely will not have a tread pattern or groove depth that will function the best on the mountain. Find proper hiking boots or trail running shoes that will grip the surface and stop slipping. Another factor to consider is the amount of cushioning on the shoe. The amount of cushioning you need depends on your weight and pack weight. Prolonged hiking on poorly cushioned shoes can result in foot pain and inflammation. Good cushioning reduces the impact forces on the body's joints and tissues during weight-bearing activity. Lastly, waterproof shoes are recommended. Whether you choose boots or shoes, you will want to keep your feet dry during your climb as you trudge through rain, mud, and snow. Getting your feet wet softens the skin and makes them ripe for blisters. Number 2. Wear liner socks or toe socks. Liner socks are used when hiking to prevent blisters. These types of socks are very thin and tight. They're designed to be worn in addition to your regular hiking socks. The liner sock goes on the foot first, followed by the regular hiking sock. Because blisters form due to rubbing on the surface of the skin, you can prevent blisters by stopping this friction. By wearing liner socks, any rubbing inside the shoe should only occur between the shoe and the hiking sock or between the hiking sock and the liner. Because the liner sock fits snugly on the foot, there should be no rubbing between the liner sock and the foot. In other words, your foot and liner sock will move together. Toe socks, such as injinjis, serve the same purpose. These socks encase each toe individually. In doing so, toe socks stop the toes from rubbing against each other, preventing blisters. Some toe socks are made to replace the traditional hiking sock altogether, while others are made as sock liners to be worn under the hiking sock. When I do day hikes with high mileage, which is anything over 10 miles in a day, I like to wear a toe sock liner and a regular, lightweight, cushioned hiking sock on top. This has served me well. To find out what works for you, experiment with different combinations of sock liners, socks, and shoes. Number 3. Tape up hot spots and blisters. Some people are prone to getting hiking blisters while others are not. This depends on the individual characteristics of a person, such as skin durability, propensity for sweating, and the shape of one's feet. If you have particularly sensitive feet, this is something you want to discover during your training. By going on long day hikes, you'll get a sense of how well your feet hold up. If you find yourself susceptible to blistering, you'll want to take the necessary precautions to prevent this from happening on your climb. In addition to liner socks and toe socks, there are products on the market that are applied directly to the skin to prevent blisters. Blister tape sticks firmly on your skin, thereby forming a preventative or protective barrier. Bandages, medical tape, or even simple duct tape can be used as well. Number 4, use a brace. As a normal part of aging, people naturally lose muscle flexibility and elasticity. Joints are worn down, tendons and ligaments become more fragile. When the body is in this state, overexertion can push you over the edge, causing an injury. If you have known pre-existing conditions, take steps to avoid exacerbating them while climbing Kilimanjaro. For those who have weak joints, consider wearing a brace to provide protection and additional stability. A knee brace can add structural support if you are prone to injury. Similarly, those with ankle issues may want to wear an ankle brace as a preventative measure. Bracing serves to stabilize the ankle and provide support to prevent the ankle from rolling over. Number 5, train for your climb. When you climb Kilimanjaro, your entire body takes a bit of a beating when you trek for a prolonged amount of time. No matter your experience, the repetitive motion of hiking for consecutive days is surely to cause some aches, pains, and inflammation. However, if your muscles and joints are not used to the volume of work or impact, your chances of being hurt increase substantially. You can reduce the risk by training. The sooner you can start hiking, the more conditioned your body will be for Kilimanjaro. Many of the body's systems can benefit from training, including your muscular system, skeletal system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, and even your nervous system. Each of these adapts to exercise at its own pace, so ramp up slowly in order to avoid being injured while training. A suitable program can eliminate all of the Kilimanjaro injuries that are related to inflammation and overuse. Number 6, use trekking poles. Trekking poles are very helpful. They reduce the impact of hiking, assist in balance, and transfer some of the workload from your lower to the upper body. By using trekking poles correctly, you shift some of the weight off of your legs and onto your arms. This means less impact and less wear and tear on your feet, ankles, knees, and leg muscles. Hiking with poles also helps provide stability, especially on slippery, wet, loose, or steep footing. By providing additional points of contact, they help you keep your balance and can even save you from falling if you lose your step. Most hiking-related injuries are caused by a fall, and most falls occur on the descent at the end of the hike. A study of non-fatal hiking accidents found that over 75% of falls happen on the descent. So I highly recommend using trekking poles on Kilimanjaro, especially on the last couple of days. Number 7, Shun the Sun. A common injury that climbers suffer that does not necessarily involve the legs is sunburn. Sunburn is an injury to the skin. It's a reaction to too much exposure to ultraviolet radiation. Sunscreen works to stop sunburn, but the problem is that being on the trail for many hours requires constant reapplication of sun cream. More often than not, climbers forget to use it regularly, especially when it doesn't feel particularly hot or sunny. So the easiest way to stop sunburn is to cover up and minimize the amount of exposed skin. That's why I'm a big proponent of long-sleeved hooded base layers and long hiking pants. Furthermore, when at camp, try not to linger around outside. Because the sun is extra strong near the equator and at high elevation, it does not take long to become overexposed to its rays. Instead, hang out in the mess tent or in your personal tent to reduce your time under the sun. Number 8, follow acclimatization guidelines. Acute mountain sickness is the main obstacle people face when climbing Kilimanjaro. It occurs when people aren't able to acclimatize quickly enough to the change in elevation. But AMS is not an injury, it's a condition. So why am I talking about acclimatization as a preventative measure against injuries? Because having AMS can make a climber more susceptible to being injured. AMS affects your coordination, energy levels, and mental clarity. If these things are compromised, one is more likely to make mistakes. Therefore, by following acclimatization guidelines, you reduce your chances of getting AMS and in turn reduce the chances of getting injured. I'm Kevin with Ultimate Kilimanjaro. To learn more, visit our website and join our Facebook discussion group linked below. And as always, please like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the summit.